Hi, I'm Jason Hansen, Vice President of Sales for Sector 10. And what I'm about to tell you today can revolutionize the way your company and your customers look at emergency preparedness in the office space, industrial market, and in corporate America. In corporate America and as business owners, there's much crisis management and emergency control that we're responsible for. At Sector 10, we figured out through a software system called Curriculum's Logic System how to do that for you and your business. I'm going to go through and explain a couple of the features and benefits that we have to offer. As you can see, this is a typical office building. On this office building, there's multiple floors. And on these floors, there's multiple people that work and are in danger of different assessments and fires such as fire, earthquake, terrorism, and any other type of disaster that could occur. At Sector 10, what we figured out is how to take all of those different types of disasters and different types of emergencies, and through our software we figured out how to track employees through a simple card that they can scan, whether it's just holding in their hand or in their pocket or in a briefcase as they walk through the building of their facility. Once they walk through the building and they pass the portal, it then will track them at any location that they're at inside the building or the facility, and we're able to evacuate or follow any employee. Our whole goal at Sector 10 is to save lives before something happens. We've developed some units, as you can see behind me, and these units are made specifically for any type of disaster situation. Each unit is unique, and each unit has its own feature and benefit. What I'm going to show you in a minute is how we can deploy masks for a fire, masks for a terroristic attack, how we can deploy oxygen, how we can deploy defibrillators, first aid equipment, or anything that your business might need. On this screen, this shows a menu of the different kiosks that we have available for our product. As you can see, there's a strobe light feature, a siren feature, a mask feature, an iodide feature for a terroristic attack. There's also temperatures of what would occur inside the building. What I'm going to do is have our photographer now film one of our units, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push deploy masks. At Sector 10, we develop products that are innovative for your emergency needs. This particular unit, if you can scan in on this, has a menu of items like police, fire, ambulance, and evacuate. In any emergency situation, in any industrial, office building, or retail location, an individual can simply come and push one of these buttons. It will notify our command center or the command center in the security facility at the place of work that they work. And immediately we know what the emergency is, and we can see that person through a camera that's a wide-angle camera. We can also communicate with them through voice-to-voice or through text. This device also has the ability with voice over IP, WiMAX, and Wi-Fi. This is a great feature on this piece of equipment, especially for the business owner. If you're a corporate owner and you own an office tower that has 20 stories and you have tenants in that office tower, we place these units at the evacuation point on each level of the building. This unit can not only be used just for emergencies, but can also be used to resell voice over IP, WiMAX, Wi-Fi, and wireless services back to your tenant, making a lease option very affordable and also paid for by you as a business owner. Not to mention we now have an emergency plan and evacuation plan in place. This unit also provides simple things like a carrying device to pull somebody down the stairs in the event of an emergency. We also have an eye wash station. This also will contain masks for oxygen. We'll have 4 oxygen tanks available, first aid kits, a defibrillator, and as I mentioned, an iodide box in case of an emergency attack that is bioterrorism or terroristic attack. As a business owner, I'm a very practical individual, probably like many of you. In the event of a power loss, our device will last for 3 hours. Also, we run off of a patented network that runs off of 5 different systems that's patented in 75 countries. This network allows us to run off of satellite, Ethernet, WiMAX, Wi-Fi, or cellular. In the event of any loss of one of these, it will automatically switch to one of the other networks and continue to run. If a loss of power does occur, we made it practical for you to reach inside, pull the device, and in any emergency situation, we can still provide emergency equipment to your office staff, to your employees, or your tenants. I talked a little bit earlier about tags that we provide for you with our system. This tag is critical for a variety of reasons. When a fire department arrives at a scene, this tag will be sewn into their vest or their jacket. It's fireproof and waterproof and allows us to know where the firefighter is at all times. A police officer also can have this on him or herself in the event of an evacuation or situation. And at the command center, we can know where that officer is at all times. I want you to come down and look at the screen. I'm going to explain a few features with the tag. As you can see, there's a little emblem here of an individual. This individual is this person right here. This tells us how long it's been since we've seen that person. This also tells us where they're located in the building. These blue marks are the SRU portals, or our device. If I double click on this individual, it pulls up who it is. It tells me their name, their tag number, and where they're at. At Sector 10, we believe, like I said, in saving lives before the disaster occurs. I also talked about the portals. Right here is a portal. This would be mounted at the entrance of any building or retail location, and as somebody walks by and the card simply scans, without them even reaching up within almost 200 feet of the device, we can scan that individual and know where they're at. Now, I'm not saying that we have every answer for your emergency needs, but think about corporate America for a minute. Think about our retail sector. Think about the public forums, the arenas, the concert halls, the stores, all the places that we frequently go to. And what plan do we have that the American public knows for evacuation, for first aid? The only thing we have is a 911 call. And our goal here is to get the entire country to buy into the SRU principle and to know that we can save lives before a disaster occurs. As a native of Utah and growing up in Utah, I've had many instances to hear about mining accidents and mining disasters. Earlier this year, we had a mining accident in Huntington, Utah. And as we had this accident, there was over 10 people that were killed. Not due to the lack of oxygen necessarily, or not due to the emergency that occurred, but due to communication. As we've talked with Senator Jake Garn, as he's told us, we can communicate from the moon to Earth, but we can't communicate 10 feet through dirt. At Sector 10, we've now figured out for the mining industry how we can communicate with our cards that I showed you through the mines and with the miners intact. This is the SRU mining portal. This is similar to the SRU unit and has all the same features. There is a few distinct differences. We can take this unit and place this 50 yards throughout the mine. In the mine, we have wireless portals that communicate with one another. And as the miners move from portal to portal, we know their last impacting point where they passed, or if there's a disrupted part of the mine that collapses, we know where they were lastly within the last 50 yards of that point. In the Huntington disaster, there was a half of a mile that was dug into the mountain to try to find these miners who lost their lives. Because of communication, they could not find the miners. With our device, with our software technology, we can find the miners through the last 50 yards of impact of where the mine occurred. Also, they'll have a device that will have water, food. In the mining industry, we also can run 3 hours off of a battery if we do lose power to this device. The mining industry is ecstatic, and as we've been meeting with Jake Garn, he is committed to getting us with Senate subcommittees and the mining industry so we can have devices like this placed throughout the country to save lives and miners' lives. More importantly, we have the ability and the capability to wirelessly transmit through the mine and into the mine shafts with our portal card as to where a miner is. And once again, at Sector 10, we're trying to save lives before the accident occurs.